Being that girl in high school has absolutely nothing to do with how much money you have, how many friends you have, how many followers you have, what type of outfits you wear, or even how pretty you are. Being that girl, especially in high school, is all about your energy and the type of life that you live, and whether or not you love yourself and whether or not you love your life. Being that girl is actually quite easy, and you probably already are that girl if you stumbled across this video. So before I even get into the video, I want to give you guys a major disclaimer. I have never until now been someone who likes school. I have struggled with school. Like, just the concept of it was overwhelming. It was very stressful. I don't know. I'm a very spiritual, existential person. So as a child, I would always be able to see past high school, and I could always see the fact that grades don't matter as much as people want them to matter. Your grades do not define you. So don't ever, get stuck in that. However, I was able to change that mentality. Hello, all the beautiful beings of love. Welcome to my channel. This video is more so dedicated to my freshman self, because in the spirit of graduation, yes, round of applause for class of 2024, okay? I genuinely have some advice that I want to offer to you guys, okay? This is no notes, this is no script, this is nothing, okay? This is just straight, just in the spirit of graduation. So I might potentially do a part 2. I'm not sure if I'll get everything out that I really want to say because I have no script or nothing, but let's just get into it, okay? So in all of these 4 years of high school, I feel like it's very cliche to say that you go in one person and come out a completely different person, but you do, and that's just the truth. So to whatever freshmen, whatever high school students are watching this, I just want you all to know, number one, that it's okay to mess up. Failure is okay, all right? We have to give ourselves a lot more grace. High school is psychologically a time where socially we're stressed, emotionally we're stressed, and we're also physically stressed, okay? So I definitely, when I was a freshman, you know what? It's funny because I actually started high school during COVID, okay? That was definitely tragic. And if you had that experience, I'm so sorry, y'all. That was honestly, it wasn't that bad for some of us because we definitely used to sleep in class and sleep on the Zooms and shit. But now, I feel like that year kind of was just a blank, besides the fact that I had my spiritual awakening that year. So I had personal stuff going on, but academically, I don't know. So what I would say to you guys is that you're not going to understand things in high school, coming straight into high school. Homework is just genuinely going to be hard and annoying. Classes are going to be not necessarily the funnest things. Doing the assignments are not necessarily always going to be fun. I am blessed with the privilege of going to such a beautiful school where our assignments can be pretty, what's the word? Unconventional. I was always somebody that hated school. I would come to school and I'd be like, this is a waste of time. I want to be somewhere making money, or I just want to hang out with my friends. Fuck this school shit. I don't care about school. But I just really want to reiterate to you guys how much of a privilege it is to have an education. Being able to read, being able to write, being able to have a platform that is literally giving you access to information that you would not have known elsewhere is truly a privilege. And I'm really sorry that our education system in America is so fucked up. I know I'm speaking from someone who was able to go to a private school, but I understand, especially when it comes to public school, oh hell no, that's a completely different story. But at the same time, I just want you guys to know that it is possible to go from a place of hating school to a place of loving school. And the way that I did that was by returning the energy and the focus onto myself. So psychologically, high school is a time where we're very, very, very social. But we easily, especially as teenagers, can get so caught up in what everybody else is doing on social media, Instagram, Snapchat, everything, TikTok. We're only worried about what we have going on. We're only worried about going out. We're only worried about being with our friends and stuff. But I really just want you guys to know that being able to go to school is a privilege. And a lot of the other problems we have are third world problems, okay? So I just want us to recognize that and to approach school from a different standpoint, and that standpoint is a standpoint of gratitude, okay? So I just want you guys to know that, because I understand, like, I never was someone that liked school at all, and I actually manifested my school experience this year, like, genuinely. And it's just wild because, like, I genuinely feel like I came such a long fucking way, bro. Y'all don't even understand. Like, I literally feel like a whole brand new, entirely, like, just new reborn person. And this shit is fucking crazy. Like, I just was thinking about middle school and just the way that it was and the things that I went through and just the way that I viewed life. And it was very dark. I can't even lie to you guys. Like, middle school was a very tough time for me, and I feel like that was my first time feeling the weight of the world on my actual shoulders. And it was mainly socially. So we go through so much, and other people do affect us, but we can lean into an energy in which we're looking out for us, okay? So I just want you guys to set intentions, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So after being in a place of, like, I fucking hate school, I don't want to show up, I can't do it anymore, I realized that I have the power to have both good days and bad days. Like, if I have the power to be miserable, I also have the power to be happy, right? And it might not make the most sense, but it is true. So for me, what was most important was setting my intention at the beginning of the year, okay? So I want you guys to take your journal out. Take your journal, take your pen out, whether it be your personal journal or whether you get a specific journal to keep with you throughout the year. Get you a journal and write out what you want to get out of this year, okay? You can mention your friends in there if you want, but try not to focus on the relationships you want to form outside of, obviously with your teachers and a few with your peers, but try to focus on what you want to get out of the year. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, I want to get all A's and I want to get perfect scores, which that can be your goal if that's what you want it to be. But I would say set your intention to be something more meaningful or something more wholesome. So my intention, I should actually probably pull up my journal and show you guys, but I don't know if I'm going to do that now because I don't even have it with me. But my intention for last year was to make lasting memories that were just fun and funny and having a great, amazing time, to actually genuinely be able to use my education outside of school, if that makes sense, which was great because surprisingly, by one way or another, we went on hella field trips. Okay, we went, and I'm talking about we went out of town. Like, I'm very lucky to have had this experience, but my school took us to Puerto Rico, they took us to Mexico, they took us to Spain. Guys, like, incredible things have happened for me, but it only happened when I started viewing school from a different perspective. So we used to go on trips all the time, we used to have field trips, we used to do things, but when I was stuck in a mentality of fuck this, I don't want to be here, I don't care about any of this, everyone here is out to get me, I don't like my friends, I don't like my teachers, I don't feel like doing this work, I don't feel like being here. So whenever I would have that mentality of like, I genuinely don't feel like being here, like fuck all of this, like I just would rather be anywhere else, I wasn't even able to enjoy what I did have. And I'm not saying you guys are going to be able to have the experience of going across the country. It doesn't have to be that grand. But just being able to shift your mentality from a place of like feeling constantly anxious, like you need to be in your own bubble, feeling uncomfortable and just being on your phone all the time, versus genuinely looking at what you do have around you, being able to take the information that you learn in class, because you do have to be there. So you might as well try to see what you can take away from it. You see what I'm saying? That's just something that I feel like is really important. So I just wanted to put that out there because what you put out, you get back. The experience that you have in high school is literally up to you. You see what I'm saying? You have the ability to completely change around your whole entire experience if you come from a place of feeling like high school is not for you, feeling like what the fuck is this, like fuck all of this. to a place of gratitude, to a place of being able to step foot in that building every day and feel like you're going to accomplish something. Because one thing about it is high school is good at teaching you time management, baby. So one thing about it, you don't have to care necessarily about what happened in 800 BCE, but what you do have to care about is being able to structure your life and learn how to be productive when it's time to be productive, and learn how to turn it off when it's time to turn it off, and learn how to organize what you're going to be productive about, when you're going to be productive about it, what you care about, how you care about it, what type of effort you want to put into your work self. Learning more, because honestly there's going to be projects where you're going to have to do some research on your own will. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me when the cars go by, so I'm really sorry if you can't, but you're gonna have to do some research by your own will. You're gonna have to do some things on your own, and what I'm gonna say is turn whatever you can into a passion project. Do you understand me? If your teacher asks you to research anything that you want to research, right? Like this year I had a project where we had to write 20 pages on anything that we wanted to. So I chose something that I was genuinely passionate about. So I was going home and I was doing the research on things that I actually genuinely cared about. And so I was able to create a 20-page paper on something that I'm truthfully so passionate about. And to me, that only adds value to my life, because not only do I have the research skills, not only do I have the writing skills now, but I also am pretty well versed in the area of psychedelics and the area of understanding psychedelics through a cultural lens, and understanding how drugs became demonized within America, right? And these are very specific things, but these are things that I care about, and these are things that I personally put my heart into. So wherever you can put your heart into it, put it in there. And also 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, do your writing assignments. Why? Because senior year, you're gonna have to write your personal essay. Senior year, you're gonna have to write an essay to apply to colleges and shit like that. And you're gonna wanna be comfortable expressing yourself through your writing, even though it's going to be hard. Learning anything new is going to be hard, especially when it comes to schoolwork. So I just want you guys to know it's not necessarily gonna be easy, but a little bit of practice will get you very strong and very well versed in whatever area it is that you're in. Even if you're in the arts, theater, whatever the case may be, a little practice every day. Even for the artists who may not believe that they are, that they're interested in art, because I'm also very artsy, okay? So I was always someone who was very interested in art, but never thought I had the skills to be able to be a really good artist. But what did I do? I went to my art classes and I actually tried. And every time I tried a little bit, I would get a little bit better. And now here we are. I literally have my art on the cover. I'm sorry about all the trucks, guys, but I literally have my art published on the cover of our literary magazine. And it's something I never even thought I would be capable of. You see what I'm saying? So just put yourself out there, try your things, and just do little work along the way. Find time every day to dedicate to work. And that's just something that you have to learn. That's just a skill that you're gonna have to pick up in high school, okay? And for the last part of this video, I want to get deeply into relationships. Guys, relationships in high school are going to be, relationships in high school are going to be messy. That's just what it is. If you're lucky enough to not have the experience, good for you. But relationships at high school are going to be messy. You're going to start messing with that stupid boy that you know you shouldn't be. You're going to start experimenting, especially if you're within the LGBTQ plus community. You're going to start, wanting to tune into your sexuality in different ways that you might not have before. You're going to have some real ass friends, or you're going to have some fake ass friends. The key to having good, long-lasting relationships is putting your ego aside and communicating with honesty and with authenticity. This isn't necessarily the easiest thing. I never said it was the easiest thing. I'm so sorry if you guys thought it was going to be easy, because it's not. But when it comes to relationships, little things are going to make you upset, little things are going to make you emotional, but what you have to do in order to maintain healthy, good, long-lasting relationships throughout all of high school and past that is, number one, dedicating time to being honest with each other about how you feel all the time. And this is for romantic relationships and for friendship relationships. if there's problems, if you feel some type of way about anything, the fakest thing you can do is feel that way and not say nothing to that person and continue to act on it. Like, continue to act on that emotion. So say somebody irritated you, somebody upset you, somebody posted something about you. The last thing you want to do is feed on that negative energy and give into it and like never actually discuss emotionally, sit down and have an intellectual conversation about what was wrong. I personally am very against fighting and drama and rah-rah and kiki and bullshit. So if you're a fighter, I highly recommend that you, rather than acting on that anger in the moment, put them fists down, baby, and get back to yourself. Journal about what's wrong, get to the root of the problem, and communicate that with said person. Okay, because communication is a skill that I feel like we have to learn at this age, and I think it's something that we're realizing more and more and more as we grow up, is like, how can I best communicate in the most like authentic, genuine way, like to where I'm not necessarily hurting anyone's feelings or projecting or just being rude and mean and unnecessary. How can I genuinely communicate what's wrong? And honestly, a lot of the time it's hard to admit what's really wrong. Sometimes it can come from a place of jealousy. Sometimes it can come from a place of feeling like people don't understand you, or people are leaving you out, or people don't care about you in the way that you want them to. But rather than feeding it with more negative energy, communicate that to people, right? But on the flip side, it's okay for things to fall off. You don't need anybody, my queen. Okay, I just want you to know that y'all don't need anybody or anything besides yourself to get you through high school. High school is about experiences, and it's about having fun, and it's about having a great time. But don't feel like you need to go to this party. You need to do these things with these people. You need to let these people continue to make you feel uncomfortable and continue to do you dead ass wrong just so you can have that experience. No, babe, that's the thing that you can get the most wrong. Okay, it is literally 100% okay to cut people off, to stop communicating with them if they're not serving you no good, to be fucking honest with the people that are around you, and to call them out for whatever is working and for whatever isn't. Hey, sorry, we're in a completely different location. I just had to switch up where I was at. I hope this is okay. I know the lighting is kind of strong on my face, but then also dark at the same time. I don't know. I just hope this is okay. As long as you guys can hear me, I feel like we'll be okay. All right. So yeah, and there's not gonna be any more cars, so we won't have to worry about cars driving by and shit. But where were we? Oh yes, relationships. Don't ever approach relationships from a place of desperation. And that is really what I aim to say when I say it's okay to cut people off, it's okay to block people, it's okay to release relationships that are not serving you. This is your time to shine. I know all of y'all are ready for a glow up. I know all of y'all are ready to become that girl, that man, that nigga, that bitch. Like, I know y'all are ready to step into this new light. And in order to fully be prepared, I feel like for college, this whole high school journey, it's not going to be great. It's going to be trials and tribulations. It's going to be some conflicts. It's going to be some things that don't necessarily go the best. But at the end, try your best to put yourself first. And what I mean by that, because I don't want to just tell you guys, love yourself, put yourself first without explaining, right? When I say put yourself first, I mean you want people around you that make you feel good, period. Relationship wise, romantically, sexually, everything. You want people that are pleasing you, that are feeding your energy, that are giving you things in return. If you get the vibe, and your intuition will tell you, my love, your intuition will tell you, if you get the vibe that you shouldn't be talking to someone, you shouldn't be friends with certain people are going in one direction, but you want to go in another one. I just saw such a beautiful butterfly. But if you get that vibe, and if you're picking up on that energy, it's okay to be alone for a while. Get more familiar with what it's like to just be by yourself, without your phone, without having to have music, without even needing like a book or something to entertain you. What does it feel like when you just sit with yourself? Do you feel like something is off? Do you feel like you're doing yourself good, or do you feel like you're doing yourself dirty? Are you proud of yourself for all of the things that you have achieved and accomplished and done so far? It's okay if you feel like I'm not sure yet, I feel like there's still more to come. That's 100% a-okay. But what I want y'all to know is that at the end of the motherfucking day, know what's going on with yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like, you kind of have to check in with yourself in that way and kind of get uncomfortable sometimes. Ask yourself the questions like, is this serving me? Is this making me feel good in the end or not? Now, we do have some problems within ourselves that we tend to project onto other people. So if you're one of the people that tends to like just get in a really bad funk because of something someone did, don't always expect other people to solve that for you, okay? Your emotions, your feelings, your mood, at the end of the day, it's nobody else's fault. That is your reaction to the situation. So if people are constantly causing you to react in a negative way, then maybe they're not the best for you, or maybe they're genuinely just triggering you. So there's like a balance of, am I really the problem, or is this situation as a whole just a problem that I need to get to the bottom of today? You see what I'm saying? And just be willing to have those conversations. Be willing to communicate what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. High school is the time when people start trying shit. People are going to start trying you, okay? And relationships, some are going to fail, some are going to work out, whatever, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you want to be able to say that I did what was best for me in that moment without necessarily having it be a selfish thing. Because I think you can be selfish in the sense where you should put your mental health first, you should put your well-being first, you should put your self-love and self-care above all else. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have the right to kind of just go around making other people feel horrible and in order to make yourself feel better. That's not the type of selfish that I'm talking about, okay? So I just want you guys to keep that very much so in mind. And to go just a little bit more in depth, for example, like I've had some really close, I'm talking like motherfucking close people that were around me that at one point I started getting really bad anxiety about. And I would be so anxious all the time, and I would just be so stressed and so sad. And it's just like, people that don't make you feel good, if people don't make you feel good, you shouldn't be around them, period. Hi, Julia. If the people around you are causing you anxiety, get rid of them. It's fine. It's okay. If the people around you are making you feel worthless, making you feel just like, just don't be around them. It's okay to just be by yourself, but don't be looking at them to help you feel better. Don't be asking them to make you feel better. Don't be asking them for validation, for approval, for attention, for energy. Don't be asking them for nothing, babes. Try to give yourself that. You know what I mean? Try to figure out, like, what is it that I'm lacking? What is it that I'm wanting out of this relationship that I'm not getting? And that's what I mean by cutting people off. Now, what you want to do though is keep the people around you that are being very real with you. And people that are real with you also might hurt your feelings. People that are real with you might tell you, bitch, you fucking tripping. Bitch, you're not even acting like yourself. Bitch, you're running around with this dirty little boy and he's not doing nothing for you, babe. You see what I'm saying? Like your real friends are 9 times out of 10 gonna piss you off in one way or another because they're gonna be real with you. And I'm not saying listen to everything your friends say, but pick and choose what advice you want to take from people and take it with a grain of salt. Don't take it personally, right? So that's what I mean. So just building strong relationships is not necessarily the easiest thing. I keep saying that, but I just want to stress it and want to reiterate that, like, building relationships is something that takes work and is something that you want to work towards, and you can't be desperately wanting something out of people, because then it's you projecting that desire onto them and you're pushing them away when you do that. Whenever you're comfortable with yourself and whenever you can tell yourself, I got me, okay? I'm on top of all my things. I'm taking care of my mental health. When I have a bad day, I give myself grace. I can just lay in my bed and cry about it and I'll be okay the next day. Whenever you can tell yourself that, you know what, like, I really enjoy myself. I really love just watching movies by myself and just sharing my own energy. I like the fact that I can come to school, get my work done, mind my business. Because half the time you just have to mind your business. Like, that's really just what it is. And if you can tell yourself that, then you're succeeding in life, honestly. So I would say try your best. It's not going to be, again, perfect, but just focus on that. So yeah, honestly, I feel like we went over a few things. I might make a part 2 to go just a little more in depth and like actually give examples and stuff like that. But for now, I just wanted to give my general advice. Try to be organized. Let's just go over everything, okay? Try to be a little more organized with your time. you are going to be stressed. You are going to feel like you don't have enough time for things. What you need to do is dedicate time in your day, in your week, in your life. Schedule things, use your calendar. Those are all going to be important things, because there's going to be times where dates overlap. You're going to want to go to this person's homecoming, but it's going to be this person's birthday. You're going to want to do this, but then you have to do that. You're going to want to hang out, but you have an assignment that's due. You need to be able to make sure that you know what your priorities are, that you're sticking to them, and that you are doing it to the best of your ability, and that you're making decisions based on what you know is best for you. If it is best for you to go ahead and just do that work and then hang out with your friends at a different time, do that. If you feel like maybe this is the one time that I already have an A, I don't really necessarily need to do this, then do whatever else you need to do. You see what I'm saying? Or just like plan things in advance, especially when you start getting a job and stuff like that. If you live in like the DMV area, if you're from like DC and stuff, don't worry about getting a car until later, okay? Cars are not that serious in DC. I'm speaking for someone who's from DC. Now, I do go to school in Silver Spring, which again, it's okay. Like, I have a car now, thank God, like luckily for my parents and everything. But if I didn't have a car, I would try to save some money by using public transit. That doesn't mean don't get an ID though. As soon as you can, when you're like 16, 17, try to get a state ID or try to get a driver's license ID, some type of ID, because IDs are actually something that people don't realize are so important to have with you, and it just causes problems if you don't have one, especially when you start filling out your FAFSA and stuff, which again, this is more so for seniors, but for freshmen, just worry about keeping your life organized, making sure that you know what it is that you want out of this high school experience, and trying to figure out what type of person am I going to be. Do I like the arts more? Do I like the STEM department more? Am I really good at math? Where are some areas that I can improve on? What are some areas that I am struggling in and lacking in right now? And what am I really good at? What do I really love? What makes me genuinely really happy? And then when it comes to relationships, which relationships are serving me? What kind of people do I like being around? You can also set your intention for that too. What kind of people do you want to be around? What kind of energy do you want to tap into? What type of romantic relationships do you want to form? How do you want your significant other to treat you? You see what I'm saying? And don't settle for anything less. I know that might be controversial, but please, if you have set goals, you have set standards, you had set things, don't necessarily expect every single person to be perfect, but it's more than okay to have standards. It is more than okay to have set expectations. And if people are not doing for you quite what you feel like they should be, then leave. Peace out. So that's really what I have for you guys. If I can think of more information, I will definitely let you know. But this is just coming from me as a graduating senior and as someone who has just transformed a lot in high school and who's going into college. And I'm going to be documenting this whole entire college experience for you guys. So you guys will see me move in. You guys will see my first few weeks. You guys will see the tea, what happens. And I'll definitely give you some story times of what's going on. The high school story times are gonna come out later, like after I graduate type shit. So I'll hip you guys to, you know, a bunch of high school experiences that I've had, because trust me, I have some stories for you guys, okay? But I'll get into that later. So thank you guys so much for being here. I love you so much. I wish you all the success. You are that girl, you are that bitch, and I love you, okay? So have a great, beautiful, blessed motherfucking day.